Okay. So we call the meeting to order. What do we do?
Approve the agenda.
Approve the agenda is first.
Oh yeah, approve the agenda from, here, I might pull that up.
You want that?
No, I got one right here. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second the motion.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous approval of the agenda items. Consent items. Approve the 2021 October board minutes. Can I get a,
You could just do an approval on the entire consent.
okay, let's do approval on the entire consent, including the September budget, history, revenue.
I'll motion to approve the consent items.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Communication public, there is no public, and straight into the director's report.
All right. So well, I'll have to tell you, so as I finished up statistics and all that stuff this afternoon, I was feeling extremely defeated because we've been hanging out at, our circulation's been off 15%, people through the door about 30% off from 2019. And when I did the stuff today, our circ is down 26% compared to October, and the people through the door is down 52%. And I was just like, what on earth? I was home a little bit ago, I was venting on this. My boss goes, you were closed for a week. Yes, we were!
I hadn't thought of that either. Okay.
So
No.
we were closed for a week, so that's why we're seeing such.
Yeah, 'cause I was looking at the numbers thinking that same thing going,
So I no longer feel defeated. So yeah, we did 23 passports this month. Notary appointment. Convention passes are slowing down. Everybody's back in school. We've started the search for a new youth services librarian, because what we'll talk about here, Melissa has accepted the assistant director position. So we have posted that right now. The job is posted on the state library website, the Association of Rural and Small Library website, and both the University of Iowa and UNI's librarian programs. So hopefully that got posted last week, so hopefully we'll start seeing some response on that. October 7th, actually that was the same. So I gave a presentation on library operations to the Citizens Academy. So that went really well. People were a lot of people didn't know everything was going on at the library, and 2 people were in the next. I did that on a Thursday night, and on Monday morning they were in to get their library cards. So Wednesday I will attend Quick Star's ribbon cutting at 1 o'clock, and they're making a $1,000 donation to the library at that time. So if any board members want to go to Quick Start for the ribbon, you can be there for ribbon cutting.
I'd love to, but I can't.
Right. Melissa, on Wednesday, then we'll be in Harlan at the Performer Showcase, where they are auditioning for summer reading next year. So we've got part-timers kind of covering the library in the afternoon during that time that I have to be out. We have our community book discussion Thursday night at 6:30. So remember last month I talked to you about they're working on this stormwater intake over here, and we had gotten the bill for the dirt work, and the city had picked up half of that. I got the bill last week, 2 weeks ago, for the concrete flume going down into that. That was a $2,500 hit that I wasn't expecting in our budget, but I'm pretty sure that we can still keep that covered towards the end of the year, or as we get it, but that was something that was not expected. The new phone system is now in place. We're going to have staff training here at the library Thursday morning. If you call up, there's no voicemail set up. We have no idea. The only thing we can do is answer them at this point. I had gotten a grant from the State Library Association for 3 new security cameras. They were installed last week. So there's one at the back door here, one at the front door, and then there's one over kind of watching those two doors that are on either side of the fireplace. And the Friends of the Library have purchased a play table for the library. It's a digital game table. And we'll be doing our giving tree starting November 22nd to December 16th, and we're going to collect donations this year for the nursing home. That's all, unless you have questions.
I don't think so.
Sound good. Okay, liaison report, nobody here. Board of Education, we don't have any this month. Agenda items. Approve the payment to Thielen Brothers for the library carpeting.
So we had previously approved the payment to them, and then the invoice came in about $300 over what the initial bid was, and that was because the new desks for the office had gotten delivered. Iowa Prison Industries wouldn't hold them any longer, and so because they had to take apart those pieces, and then the price went up. So it's $300 and some. It's not a huge increase. We just need to have that approved before the city can pay it.
Get a motion to approve the $22,310.40.
I'll move to approve it though, for the library carpeting.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Hiring a new library page?
All right, so yeah, resolution. So Eva Fosselman has resigned, and so there was a position, a part-time position open. I had just hired in September, at the very beginning, a library page. At that time, we only had 2 applicants, and both of them were highly qualified. So, being that we were already down a full-time staff, I just went ahead and offered the position to the second candidate, and she accepted that. So, she will be starting. We should her background check. We're waiting on that, but she'll start as soon as we have all of that in board approval.
I would prefer if you would still like post it where you post your meeting minutes, to just so then for the 10 days, just to satisfy a veteran's preference, because you really have to do it. There's not really, so just throw it up, and then we can still approve it, and if somebody comes forward that would have like veterans preference, we could take it back to the table. But I mean, there's like if somebody was interested in it and didn't know about it, it could go to like a court, and then it'd be a binding arbitration by the judge. So I would just post it up for 10 days.
I had checked with them, they're like, since it had been within,
Post it.
okay. So,
What are we gonna do with
So I make a motion that we approve the new hire and post the position to satisfy whatever. So I think we can still approve
so
it.
her first shift is scheduled for Saturday.
That's fine.
Okay.
She can start. Just post it just to, we're kind of behind the scenes.
It's just authorizing the higher library page, so.
Yeah.
No, because this one actually is by name.
That's
And
fine.
so- okay.
I hate to like do it this way, but we'll hire her, we'll post it, and if something happens that somebody will, I would rather have to pull her from the position and potentially put somebody else in it than have somebody go after us because they didn't get an opportunity to apply for the position.
Okay.
So I move that we approve, whoever it is for the position, who is it?
Kim Arsfald.
Kim Oswald for the position, but I still want the position posted for 10 days.
I'll second the motion.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Approve the resolution 2021-6L, authorizing the hire of an assistant director.
All right, so that is Melissa has accepted the position that Pam vacated.
Did you post it?
Yeah.
Okay, wait, perfect.
Yes.
Perfect, okay, I thought you were gonna, okay, that's all, yeah, perfect.
So,
So something needs to approve, I can move to approve that
Yeah.
position for,
Can we get a move yet?
I move to approve.
I'll second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Is this popping up? Are you on the network?
I don't know if I am or not, but
That's all right.
I hit it up. If the battery,
That's fine.
it wasn't fully charged.
Okay, it's all good.
Shall we keep going or you want to?
No, you go ahead.
Okay. Review reconsideration of materials policy.
Alright, so that's a policy that was just up for review. That's basically what happens when, if somebody challenges a book, which Waukee schools are going through right now. So the only thing when I was looking at that, and it's nothing I would change in the policy, it's just something that I need to do a better job at, is one of the things in there is that every year you appoint a reconsideration committee from the community, and you have that committee in place for a year ahead of time, so it doesn't look like you are just hand-picking people who would support a challenge. So you find people who will agree to serve on that should a challenge arise. And I just don't remember to do that. That's
I
my
think
meeting.
we talked about it at one time when we were supposed to kind of,
And I think we did, yes, we did like in 2018, we had some people, and then I just haven't
okay.
we haven't replaced or asked them to extend.
So is that, those are people that aren't necessarily board members? at all,
Correct. It
right?
would be community members.
So does it say you have to change the people every year, or you just have to, you have to select them every year?
You have to select them every year.
So in theory, could you reselect people until they have to, I mean.
You could check with them and see if they'd be willing to serve on that committee again, yes.
Every year?
Yeah, yeah.
Just kind of when you go, hey, you still around?
Yeah. And then maybe if you got a situation where they had to act on it, then you could always change it up.
Right. So that's one of those, like I said, it's just a housekeeping issue, but as far as the policy itself, I think it's a solid policy.
and the gist of it is you need to have them chosen before you have a book in question. Is that
Correct. So it doesn't look like you go and pick people
To support.
to support
or
it.
whatever.
Yeah,
Or pick people to fight it or whatever.
right.
Just pick general people. Fair enough.
And what is it like 6, is it the same, or is it 5? You probably should be odd, huh?
I think it was only 3.
Okay.
Because there would be board members on there as well, and then there would also be, so in addition to the community members, you would have a board member, with me, and then you would have a librarian from another community.
Okay, so it'd be 6 individuals.
Or it could be more, but that you have to have like this complex, yeah, you get some expert, you have your expert who's not involved directly in it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I read through it, it looked pretty
Have
straightforward.
any suggestions or questions?
All right. So like I said, there's no action needed on that. It was one of those annual, or that one's an every 3-year review, so.
So the next thing, approve option to waive the December meeting. Are we gonna have a problem with Board of Education?
With board education, I think that we are probably okay in that basically the board should have 3 hours of education every year. But, so we cover about half of that in our sessions.
Yeah.
And then your other half would come from the fact that you watched an hour-long video before you reported. It gave us the 20-minute synopsis of it. So that's kind of, but I think we're okay with board education.
Okay.
So December is one of those months, so we can miss 2, we have to have 10 meetings a year. Typically, we have missed, like July is one that we tend to miss, December is one that we can miss. Now, that being said, I mean, with the calendar and all the things as policy reviews, we never put anything like that on December. It's just a blanking so that if there's something that has to be dealt with. What I would think that we would have to deal with in December would be hiring a youth services librarian, but that's not going to be in place by December 6th. Because the position closes the 23rd of November. We won't have interviews completed and a position offered by the 6th. So I would think that there would be a special, just a really quick special meeting called at some point.
Sure.
But like I said, unless something comes up, basically it was just kind of that option that, or the permission to waive that if we aren't ready.
Sure.
I will motion to waive the December meeting.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed?
And I don't have any COVID updates. That's just kind of a standing thing on there.
Okay, that being said, give a motion to adjourn.
I'll move to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Has anybody ever not motioned to adjourn?
In the history of the world.
I'm sure there's somebody somewhere. You know, people